welcome back to The Witch of Pine Hollow. So exciting, today is our first in the line of tarot videos. We are beginning with the first of the major arcana, which is the Fool card. So oftentimes people think, oh no, I'm a fool, I don't know what I'm doing, I got the Fool card, which means this is a bad sign, but it's actually a very, very positive card and one of my favorites to pull because it means that you're at the beginning of a new journey. I wanted to take cards from several different decks to show you and talk about the different ways they're interpreted, and then at the end discuss some times that the Fool has come up in my own journey and how I've used it to my advantage or used that beginner's mindset to my advantage in different situations. So to start off, this is the Rider-Waite version of the Fool. Bring it in nice and close here. So you have a person and they are leaping off a cliff into the unknown. They've got a little dog or cat pet beside them that's accompanying them. And we've got the sun is shining, they've got a rose in their fingers. They've packed their pack and they're like, I'm leaving home. It's kind of the running away from home with all your goods tied on a stick over your shoulder, which you may have pretended to do as a child. So in general, what this card means is you are at the start of a new beginning, a new journey in your life. You don't know what mistakes you're going to make yet and you don't know how to solve them, but it means that you're on the precipice of creating an all new you or a new part of you or discovering something that you never knew before. And so just a very positive, fun card right there. So the next card that I'm going to show you is from the Everyday Witch. It's really similar in a way. Here we go, Zero, the Fool of the Major Arcana, and she is leaping off of the cliff as well, but she's got her broom, so she's going to fly. She's got her cat by her side. There's a hawk flying. Seeing things from a different point of view is a symbol of the hawk, and there's a ship starting a journey below. So look at how triumphant she is on this new journey. I think this is a great representation of that feeling of you just got that new job, or you've discovered that you're deciding that you're going to move and you want to start taking those steps, or there's a sewing project that you want to take on. Maybe you got new training at work. It could be any number of things, a new relationship, choosing a new hobby. But that's the feeling in that card there. And there's a wonderful quote from the book. It's really quick, but embrace the unknown. So here is where this book made me think of Frozen 2, when Elsa decides to call or listen to the call from the unknown that's calling her from the north. It's the song Into the Unknown, one of my favorite Disney songs ever, and it always gives me chills because she's taking the step to be brave, to take that leap and go on that journey, and she's willing to do it, to leave others behind, to do what she needs to do for her. So I always think of that song as being like the song, Disney song of the Fool cards. So take a listen to that if you haven't heard it before. Also highly recommend Frozen 2. It's a really good movie. I actually liked it better than the first Frozen. That's the Everyday Witch. And then I got a new deck recently as a gift, and I am so excited about this deck. It's called the Dream Keeper's Tarot. I've barely started working with it, but it's got all these interesting pieces of art in it, like from old photos of like the Victorian age. I'm super into Victorian history, so this really called to me, and I'm so excited to begin working with it. It's by Liz Huston, The Everyday Witch is by Deborah Blake, art by ELISABEth ALBA, and I'm going to link all of the tarot decks that I show you down on the bottom. But this Fool card's a little bit different. I've never quite seen something like this before. Let me show you. So there's a woman, she's on top of a checkerboard, and she's leaping sort of off that board into the unknown and leaving things behind. So that's the other part of the Fool card, is that you're at this precipice, this journey, and you need to decide what you're going to leave behind and what you're going to take with you from what you've already learned on this new journey. So she's actually leaping away from, according to the guidebook, her old lovers who were trying to pull her down. She has beautiful shoes on, a beautiful gown, and she's also holding a bell, which is supposed to call spiritual help to her on her new journey. So a little bit different interpretation here, but just stunning. There's also the full moon which is the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle in another way. So that is the Fool from that deck. And then finally, I wanted to show you from the Wildwood Tarot by Mark Ryan and John Matthews and illustrated by Will Worthington. I've used this on the channel before, but is the Wanderer is the name of the Fool card from that deck. So here we have a person stepping off into the unknown as well, but they're kind of treading on a rainbow. So from the Wildwood Tarot book, you have come to a junction or turning point in your life. It may be an unconscious state in which you feel the tide has turned or sense something is going to happen. In a way, it already has. Your spirit must move on, and the desire to leap into the unknown beckons. Into the unknown. This may mean leaving behind or giving up some baggage or burden that you may have carried with you from the past. Now is the time to be clear and not let fear of failing or sad disillusion with the universe hold you back. So that's the last part, really, of the Fool card, in my opinion, is you might be afraid to take on that new adventure, or you think you can't do that thing, and that's sort of the shadow side of the card. If you like to do reversals and you get it reversed, it can tell you that you're afraid of that, but I really like to just feel out the card and where it is in my reading, and I don't do reversals. Like, I did a reading for a person recently, and the Wanderer, actually used this deck, the Wanderer showed up in what they need to release or let go of. And I think that when the card comes up in a situation like that, it's like you need to release your fear of the unknown. You need to leap, the net will appear, it's going to be okay. So now let's talk about how the Fool card has come up for myself. So in this past year, I started a new job within the same company that I've worked for many years. And at the beginning of that, I kid you not, this card kept coming up over and over and over again for me, because I was literally starting a whole new role that I had never done before in a department I was really not familiar with. So that's a perfect example of a time in life this might come up. When else has it come up for me is when I'm deciding to take on a new project or a new journey. It will often come up there. Or if things are stagnant and I get the Fool card and I'm like, there is nothing new, like it's telling me that I need to start to create something new and not wait for that newness to come to me. So I hope that this quick tarot series has been helpful for you. Next time you see the Fool card, I hope you feel more comfortable with it and excited to take on that new journey. We will be doing these videos every other week in between some of the craft creative projects and things, and so let me know what you think. I really enjoyed thinking about the Fool all week and coming up with what I wanted to say, so I think that this will be a great project. Please share with your friends who are interested in learning more about tarot, and I will see you next week. Bye, everyone.